Welcome to E-Central, your home to everything entertainment here in Nigeria and across the entire globe. Now, surprising news, Cubana Chief Priest has been granted bail at 10 million Naira. That's surprising for some people, exciting for others. I'll tell you why. Mohbad's mom is in the news and she's asking help from the Lagos state government. That's not all. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti's biopic heads to cinemas. This and much more right here on E-Central. I am Sam Dandy. Please stay with us. Now let's begin with the news. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has filed a 3-count charge against Socialite Cubana Chief Priest, who has been accused of abusing the Naira, Nigeria's currency. Now, Cubana Chief Priest, whose real name is Pascal Okechukwu, was arraigned today, Wednesday, April the 17th, before Justice Kehinde Ogundare of the Federal High Court in Lagos, and was granted bail of 10 million Naira. We have News Central reporter, of course, our very own Ben Akede, joining us to give us updates on the arraignment. Hi, Bennett. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
Now, can you give us a quick run-through of what happened at the court? I hear Cubana pleaded not guilty, saying something around the exhibits being prop money. Talk to me.
Well, yeah, it was a very short hearing, so to speak, less than 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken, and he did plead not guilty. Now, I don't know why some have been comparing this hearing to that of another that came up a couple of weeks ago, of course, talking about what's his name again? Bobrisky, exactly.
Yeah.
So in this case, he pleaded not guilty, saying some of it was exhibit money, not all was real money. But you know, very short. And then the bail conditions were read pretty quickly, and he was allowed to leave the court. He was released into the custody of his lawyer, who said they were not going to make any public statement, but that the EFCC would give out all the information that they need. But here's the information that we do have. Now, the court exactly was, like you clearly stated, mandated to grant him bail, and this bail was to the tune of 10 million Naira with 2 responsible sureties gainfully employed with the federal or the state government, as a matter of fact. And then, you know, they must not be less than grade level 16. Now, also in the conditions, the sureties are to have landed properties, and the owners of the landed properties and the documents of the properties should also be verified. Now, Obi Cubana is to submit his international passport pending a time when this is ongoing, and he cannot, of course, leave the country. Address to the verified properties and the documents must be, must be verified by the government and the officials of the EFCC as well. Now, to wrap this up, they said that all of this must be perfected within 7 days upon undertaking by the Defense Counsel to produce, what's his name now? The Cubana Chief Priest. He's not supposed to break any of these rules, and if he does, then the case will take a different turn. So was said in the court. Now,
this is one that has a lot of people talking. And so the law says 50,000 Naira fine or 6 months in jail or both. Are there concerns as to how this equates to a whopping 10 million Naira bail fine?
Well, you know, there are differences. The fine is, if I'm not mistaken, you know, if he breaks some of these conditions given to him. But altogether, the 10 million Naira is not a fine. It is one of the conditions for his bail, basically, which is supposed to meet within 7 days. The 50K is a fine, not a condition to the bail.
Wow. I guess we're all learning here, okay? But the big question among many Nigerians or anyone who's, you know, a fan of the social scene is, why is Cubana Chief Priest granted bail and Bobrisky Idris is not?
Of course. I think I got that question again, and we're having that conversation in the newsroom, if I'm not mistaken as well. Remember that Bobrisky pleaded guilty, straight up, directly. And I guess he made it very easy, made easy decisions for the judge and others to give. So, pleaded guilty, you're guilty, fine, all right, here's what you'll do. Here are the penalties, here's the punishment. Just go on and serve, and then when you're done with your time, come out. But in this case, he pleaded not guilty, which means that more investigations will be made. His legal representatives have come out to say several things why they think he's not guilty, and that's why these bail conditions, have been issued out. Remember that for Bobrisky, who pleaded guilty, there was nothing like bail conditions. Nothing was read out. It was just you pleaded guilty, we agree you are guilty, do your time, and then come out and win-win for everybody, I guess.
I mean, I guess my final question, honestly, would be, this is about Naira's abuse. And, well, we've seen 2 socialites now. Do you think this will be, a lesson learned for everyone out there, you know?
Well, I think the lesson is already spreading gradually. We're seeing on social media already that people are becoming very innovative when it comes to spraying money, as it were. As a matter of fact, it's not being sprayed so much now. It's almost like dabbing money anyway. So they say the fear of EFCC is now the beginning of wisdom when it comes to spraying money. So definitely, yes, I do see things changing. However, to wrap this up from my side, I think what people are hoping is that the law will be a blanket treatment for everybody. So we don't see some people being taken to court for spraying money and then some other people, you know, the high end of the government or in other top places being given some kind of preferential treatment. So if it's going to be law for some, it should be the same law for all.
Well said, Ben, and thank you so much for being a part of the show. And I do agree with you. Justice for all. So anyone who's guilty definitely must pay the price. We appreciate you for your great work. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, speaking of more controversial things, in a follow-up to the controversial surrounding the death of Nigerian singer Mohbad, the late singer's mother has made a distress call to the Lagos state government and Nigerians at large for help. In a video circulating online, the deceased singer's mom, well, she had this to say.
Mama rẹ̀ mi ẹ gbà mí ẹ jẹ́ ń wò mí nà ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà kí ni mo ṣe? Wọ́n pọ́n pa ọmọ mi ìgbà tó pa tó wọn ọ̀sìn. Kí ni mo ṣe gbà mí lọ́wọ́ jòsí o ẹ gbà mí lọ́wọ́ jòsí àti Bukky Jesse. Kí ni mo ṣe fún ọgbà ẹ̀yin abiyamọ ọ̀run ìgbà tó pa ọmọ mi tán wọ́n tún fẹ́ pa ìyá àwọn wọ́n tún fẹ́ pa mí. Nǹkan kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe mí o kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe mí kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ìyàwó ọmọ mi kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe àdúrà kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ìyá. Ẹ ṣàánú fún mi o wọ́n ti fún mi gbé wọ́n ti fẹ́ pa mí o Bukky Jesse ti post lé mi o bí mo ṣe lọ bí mo ṣe bọ̀ ní Bukky Jesse post o ẹ ṣàánú mi o ibi tí Bukky Jesse wà kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe mí o kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe mí kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ìyàwó kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe àdúrà kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ọmọ wù mí ọmọ Nàìjíríà gbà mí ìyá náà fi ń jẹ mí ìyá ẹ ṣàánú mi.
That one's definitely sad for a lot of people, you know, because losing Mohbad was hard enough. But my amateur Yoruba will say that she's pleading for help and asking for mercy, and she hasn't done anything to deserve this. We do hope that the government, of course, responds to this call and somehow gets in the middle of it. Well, Nollywood actress and activist Iyabo Ojo also doubled down on this distress call, asking the Lagos state government and the Nigerian police force to help stop the harassment she is facing, adding that the fact Mohbad has still not been buried is traumatizing enough.
Is a woman with a voice. There is no force more powerful than a woman destined to rise. Each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women.
Well, that's a teaser to our next story. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, a biopic by Bonale Austin Peters, has finally been scheduled for a nationwide cinema release on the 17th of May this year, following several screenings last year. Now, the movie tells the tale of Funmilayo Ransom Kuti herself, Fela Anikulapo Kuti's mother, from her groundbreaking years as the first female pupil at Abeokuta Grammar School to her union with Israel Ransom Kuti. She and her husband opposed injustice and founded the Abeokuta Women's Union. This led to a bloody conflict with traditional and colonial leaders who stood in the way of justice and fairness. The movie features Joke Silva, Kehinde Bankole, Aduniade, Ibrahim Suleiman, amongst others. The movie was initially released for screening for a week from September the 8th to September the 14th, 2023 at the Silverbird Cinema in Victoria, Lagos. Well, we happen to be at one of the private screenings, so let's bring back those memories.
So proud to have been part of such an incredible piece of storytelling. We, you know, like someone said, we don't do a lot of biopics, and it's, you know, it's possible that so many other people are going to do different versions of the FRK story, but I'm so proud to be part of those who did probably the first one that would make us realize that this woman is more than the first woman who drove a car in Nigeria. That's what we reduced her to in our history books, and I'm just highly honored to have been part of it.
The amount of work that we put into it, and it's the only movie that I directed that I wept on set directing. Watching the skill, the women, the passion of the actors, the extras, as well as the phenomenal Kehinde Bankole and Joke Silva play Funmilayo. And You know, we had big scenes where there were massive movements. I had 500 women at times, you know. And the day they invaded the palace of the Alake, it was so emotional. It was like, you know, it reminded me of when Moses parted the Red Sea. It was that kind of powerful movement. And I started crying and people were asking, what's wrong, what's wrong? I'm like, there's nothing, it's just so powerful. So if I, the director, felt that kind of energy on set.
It's a different thing to hear an event, history, but to actually partake in it and then seeing it for the first time, I was moved to tears. Just to have my little tissue with me. I'm just so happy and grateful to have been featured in this film, and I'm pretty sure this movie will do so well. This is part of Nigerian history. This is what really happened. It's not made up. And I want to congratulate BAP for a job well done. And I want to tell the world to go watch Naira Ransom Kuti.
It was really amazing. I feel like it's a movie that, you know, should never die. A movie that should be passed on to children and children's children. And, you know, movies that should just go on like that. It's an evergreen movie because, I mean, a lot of us do not know the story of Naira Ransom Kuti, but this movie has been able to expose us to the great things she did.
Absolutely fantastic. I guess fans don't have to wait much longer. May is almost here, so we get the chance to watch that if you haven't seen it and celebrate the incredible cast and, of course, the icon that is Funmilayo herself. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, East Central still has more news for you, so please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching East Central. Now, in the music scene, Wizkid and Benson's Mood is now eligible for gold certification in the U.S. The song has now sold 500,000 units in the U.S. Mood was released on the 27th of August, 2021, and was featured in Wizkid's album Made in Lagos, the deluxe version. It might interest you to know that the visuals for that song has over 33 million views on YouTube alone. Let's remind ourselves of that hit song. The iconic Wizkid himself and truly a great songwriter, Benson. All right, we're going to go to more news. Ruger and Benson are embarking on what seems to be an extraordinary journey with their upcoming project as they've just unveiled the track list. Now, the 7-track project includes their 2 earlier collaborations, Romeo Must Die and Poe, along with 5 fresh hits. Now, there is a Calculative Love with production credit from Kukubits, Ilashe by SARS, who I love, Party Monster by Kukubits again, and Not Dawn by Blaze Beats. They're both incredible musicians, and for the longest, we never thought we would get a collaboration from both of them. But here, fans are loving it, enjoying it, and we're looking forward to the entire project now that we've seen the track list. Now, still more music. Well, Shali Poppy has released the visuals for his song Day of his just released second studio album, Shakes Poppy. I don't want to talk too much. If you're a fan of the Pluto president himself, then you know what's coming. We have to expect that collab, of course, with King Maddie, but of course, another song called Concern. Yeah, I hope I got that correctly. But you know what? We love Joe Boy. Anything he puts out definitely is a hit. Now, on the international scene, Megan Thee Stallion has been honored as an extraordinary advocate by Planned Parenthood of Greater New York. The Houston native was chosen because her music and performances have shined a light on women's empowerment, mental health, and social justice. Apparently, Megan has been an outspoken advocate for women's rights and Planned Parenthood and has used her global platform to draw attention to the organization's mission and work. She also launched the Pete and Thomas Foundation, a non-profit organization focused on uplifting and assisting women, children, senior citizens, and underserviced communities in Houston, Texas, and across the world. Now, here was what she had to say during her acceptance speech.
We need to create communities where women can receive sexual and reproductive health care with the love, respect, and compassion that they deserve. I promise to continue to do my part and use my platform to break down barriers and empower women all around the world.
Truly, there's nothing as empowering as seeing a star, use their power, use their voice, of course, to talk about social issues. It's super important, and I applaud Megan for that one. We can't come to an end at East Central without bringing to you Celeb Socials, all that your faves have posted on their platforms over the past few days. Let's watch this.
Hustle from Monday to Sunday. Hustle from Monday to Sunday. Hustle from Monday to Sunday. Hustle from Monday to Sunday.
It's your favorite birthday in the US of A. It's been a long time coming and I'm here. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to meet you more. You are doing tonight. Beautifully wonderful love. Anyway, I follow you, no matter what. And if you like baby,
Now, we have fed you the biggest stories in entertainment here in Nigeria and across the globe, and we will do the same thing tomorrow, okay? You're welcome. Don't forget to meet A Central will be a part of the entire show at exactly 4:30 p.m. West Africa time as we update you with all that's popping in the industry. My name is Sam Dandy. This is bye for now.